It's the Fantasy Football Hustle. Here are your hosts, Brian Drake and Dwayne McFarland.
And welcome in all across fantasy land. What's going on? It's the Fantasy Football Hustle. How we doing, everybody? It's your boy Brian Drake from FightingChanceFantasy.com. Joined as always by the man whose data is so nice he gets paid for it twice, Dwayne McFarland of Establish the Run and, drumroll, now also Pro Football Focus. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, man. I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun time. Those guys have been really great to me, and I can't wait to do some new cool stuff.
Speaking of doing new cool stuff, we've got quite a little guest here to start us off on the hustle. When I was 14 years old, I was about 4'11" and 83 pounds running freshman track here in Syracuse, New York. But we've got a guy here today, Rhys Tefertiller, who is a best-selling author on Amazon. He did a fantasy football book called Fantasy Football Predictive Analytics. If you go over to Amazon.com, you can see it on there. You can get the Kindle version for $7.99. The paperback is $19.99. And you can even go to the reviews, and you might recognize some of the people who are leaving reviews. Rhys, the first person that left you a review is friend of the show, Rich Rebar. So, Rhys, welcome to the hustle. How's everything going, man? And tell us about being a 14-year-old author.
It's been great. I mean, I never thought the book would take off like this. I was just doing it as a little project during coronavirus.
Really? So, what got you into this? Like, what made? I know your father, Jeff, writes for Football Guys, if people don't know that out there. So make sure you check him out and all his great work with Sigmund Bloom and the boys at Football Guys. What made you say, like, hey, Dad, I'm going to do this? And did he help you a lot with it? Or did he know you were doing it? Or is it something you said, hey, by the way, here's a book I wrote?
He helped me a lot with it. It probably would not have been published this early without him. He's a really good writer. But I was doing my fantasy football research a little early with all this time off school. And I kept on doing more and more research than I usually done. So at one point I realized I probably had enough to write a book. So
yeah, are you playing in a lot of leagues yourself with your buddies?
I am not quite up to where some people are. I only do 2, and they're little family leagues.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to start somewhere. Fun. Those are the leagues that matter the most, when you can rub it into dad or your uncle or your cousin or whoever saying, like, I got you, I beat you this week. Something I'd love to know. We know Dwayne is Mr. Stats, Mr. Analytics with Pro Football Focus and Establish the Run. Where did you get your reference information for this?
I got it from a lot of different sites. Pro Football Reference was really great. Fantasy Focus was really good as well, along with Sharp Football Stats.
There you go. Yeah, Sharp. There you go. Yeah, so you basically pulled together stuff from all of those different places to get your research done. And then tell us a little bit about your process. Tell us, you don't have to give everything away, but I mean, I love how you lay out, the steps in your process. It's really, really great. I think you do a great job of laying it out in a simple way. And it's also very thoughtful. So just tell the audience a little bit about the kind of process that you go through to do your rankings.
For what kind of rankings are you talking about?
Well, for your rankings for your book.
For my projections, I took what a certain position got against their strength of schedule off of. So each team gave up a certain amount of points to each position on average. And so I took that average, every team who they played 16 weeks, I looked at how many points they scored against it. So let's say the Cardinals scored 1.3 more points than expected for their wide receivers against their schedule. Well, I would use that 1.3 and look at their 2020 schedule to see their projections.
This is why I went to school for broadcasting. I'm horrible at math. Are you a great math student?
I'm a pretty good math student, but my mom's an AP calculus teacher, so it kind of goes in there.
So she's got all like the TI 82 calculators hanging out around the house and everything.
I don't know what those are.
He has no clue what you're talking about, Drake.
Oh my gosh. Anybody watching this show out there had to take one of those classes back in the day, and they would say, you got to go buy one of these crazy expensive calculators that you'll never ever use again. And, I was the guy like writing words upside down on the calculator for, making jokes in class. But what's the response been so far to the book? What are your parents saying? What are your friends saying?
My friends think I'm crazy for actually not sitting on my butt and doing nothing. But I would say the response has been really great. I was not expecting this good of a response to the book. Most people have really liked it.
Again, it's fantasy football predictive analytics. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. You can get the hardcover copy if you'd like. And you can help our man Rhys out here. So Dwayne's got it up here on the screen. We can kind of go through. If you're wondering how he's laid this out, 7 chapters here. There's some great stuff in here. You've got weapons, rankings, depth charts. You've got a play caller tendency chapter.
Yeah, man after my own heart, play calling tendencies.
I know. You must listen to the hustle. I have to bring this up because you've got my beloved Philadelphia Eagles in terms of weapons rankings at 23 overall.
Right where they should be, Rhys. Right where they should be. Don't let him talk you out of it. Don't let him talk you out of it.
Cowboys.
Come on. There it is right there. Oh, boy.
Rhys, tell people where you're from.
On the Eagles ranks, I thought only because Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and Miles Sanders are their only receivers that can stay healthy and can actually catch passes half the time.
That's got a good point. Yeah, we will scroll up just since I live in Dallas. Number 2 is the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to give away too much though, so I'm gonna keep moving because I don't want to give away all your goodies, Rhys. What's something that you would want to talk to folks about in here? Is there something else that you want me to go to that you'd like to talk a little bit more about?
The projections are really great, personally.
All right, well, let's go there. You have anybody particular that you want to talk about? On
the projections, I really like Daniel Jones a lot.
I got to keep going.
And I believe he's being really underrated.
Go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned that, Rhys. We went through it, and we picked out guys that we want to talk about, and Daniel Jones was the guy that we picked out. So talk to us about the Giants quarterback. Why do you like him so much here? Everyone talks about how tough his first 4 games are. I don't think that matters.
Look how many pages are in this book.
It's unbelievable.
I don't have a book written, much less one with as many pages as Rhys's.
I believe you passed the projections. It's in chapter 3.
Oh, I did?
Okay.
No, I was going down to the plant my flag thing. Sorry.
Yeah. At the end, you have plant your flag. That's players that you love for 2020. And one of the quarterbacks that you said is Daniel Jones. So give us kind of the Cliff Notes version here. Why do you love the Giants quarterback this year?
One of the reasons why I really like him is because they signed Jason Garrett as his offensive play caller. He was able to turn Dak Prescott into non-turnover, to not turn the ball over as much, which is one of the main concerns against Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones was just ripping it towards the end of the year. In fact, he was on pace, even with his bad play calling, to throw for 32 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards.
I keep telling people, Daniel Jones, he's a high-end player with great weapons that you're going to get for a song at the end of your draft, especially if you can get him as a backup. It'd be unbelievable, but I think you can roll through a season this year with him as your starter. Another guy that we really like is, because in the rest of the show, Dwayne and I are going to talk about running backs that you could get at the turn at the end of the first round. And we got a couple of names, and one of the guys we're going to talk about is Austin Eckler, last year's running back 6. And he's a plant your flag guy for you. So tell us why you like the Chargers running back so much.
I really like Austin Eckler because of how much I do not think Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert will chuck the ball down the field as much as some teams will. And I believe that Joshua Kelly and Justin Jackson will not cut into many carries. And if he is able to produce top 8 fantasy running back numbers without with Melvin Gordon there, what can you do without him? There's so much upside there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the 2 quarterbacks there. One more guy we wanted to talk to you
hang
about.
on. I got to ask him. So, because I couldn't find it. So what percentage of the carries do you have Eckler at?
I didn't do the carries percentage, but I'd say he's probably in line for 70% at least.
Okay. And then what about like from a reception standpoint? What are your thoughts?
The Chargers threw the ball to their running back 31% of the time, by far tops in the league. And so I believe he could see a 25% target share among the Chargers.
Dwayne, when you get too big time and you're on ESPN or NFL Network or something in like 3 weeks, I think I've got my new co-host.
Yeah, you need a new co-host because I was doing terrible trying to find the right spot. But I know we wanted to ask you about a receiver too, and I think the guy we had landed on, I'm actually on the right page. I'm sure everybody is like, where are you going? But Allen Robinson. Tell us a little bit about why you like Allen Robinson.
He has never had a good quarterback. Sort of like how Brandon Cooks has never necessarily had a bad quarterback thrown to him. Allen Robinson has never had a good quarterback thrown to him. He was cursed whenever Blake Bortles was drafted the round above him. And then he goes to Chicago where Mitchell Trubisky is there now. I'm not saying Nick Foles is a good quarterback, but he is a definite upgrade over everything he's had. And Allen Robinson has been able to produce pretty good fantasy numbers with the bad quarterback play. And he is a volume, like he has lots of volume this year, plus accurate targets for once.
Yeah, you have that right. Think about that. Blake Bortles and over to Mitch Trubisky. It's not an
upgrade or downgrade.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, though. Foles has definitely got to be, from an accuracy standpoint, that's got to be an upgrade. So I like that one. I like that one a lot. Anybody else that you're wanting to talk about?
Nick Chubb is another guy I really like, as Kevin Stefanski, the run-heavy coach of the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, is now head coach of the Browns, where he had his running backs take a 28.6% target share, plus ran the ball 49% of the time.
So how do you think things work out with Kareem Hunt? What type of work do you think Hunt gets? Do you think that's a hindrance to Nick Chubb this year?
I do not think Hunt is a problem for Nick Chubb, considering Chubb took 77% of the carries. And as the Stefanski ran the ball 476 times last year, 23% is very minimal compared to what Chubb will get. And with 28.6% target share, you're looking at probably Hunt could get probably 100 targets, which would not impede his Chubb's fantasy value at all, considering Hunt was already on pace for 88 targets.
Hang on a second, Rhys. You're 14 years old. Are you reading these stats now? Because I'm watching you here on YouTube. Did you memorize all these stats? That's off the top of your head?
Yes, it's off the top of my head. Nick Chubb is one of the players me and my dad disagree on. So we have family discussions and debates about whether Nick Chubb will be a top 10 fantasy back or a top 20.
Wow. 14 years old. This is unbelievable. Rhys Tefertiller, author of Fantasy Football Predictive Analytics. You can get it over on Amazon. Again, the Kindle price is $7.99. The paperback is $19.99. Perfect for that fantasy football fan in your family. And we were told that you are quite the Super Bowl trivia buff by your father.
I did used to study it, but I still do as well.
Good, because we've got some questions for you. We're going to hit you with a little fantasy football hustle Super Bowl trivia. I wish we had like a flashy graphic or something here yet, but it's only week 1 for our new intern, Corey, but you'll see more of him later. All right. Question number 1. Who was the MVP of the first Super Bowl?
Bart Starr.
There you go. I don't know if you guys heard that little ding ding, but that's correct. What Dallas Cowboy had his helmet stolen at the 1994 Super Bowl? I can give you multiple choice if you'd like.
Dallas Cowboys player or
Yes.
Buffalo Bills player?
Yes. Was it Larry Brown, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, or Michael Irvin?
I know the answer.
Oh, of course you do, Mr. Cowboy fan.
Larry Allen. I'm going to go with Larry Allen.
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. Emmitt Smith. It said it was returned to him several weeks after the Super Bowl by an anonymous source here. All right. Let's see. Who was the first wild card team to win a Super Bowl?
I believe that would be the 1983 Las Vegas Raiders. Oakland Raiders.
You got it. Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
1981. Guess who they beat? My Eagles. 27-10. Okay. What player holds the record for most rushing yards in a single Super Bowl? I can give you Emmitt Smith, Franco Harris.
Timmy Smith from
Timmy Smith it is. 204 yards for the Redskins. Or whatever they're going to call him next week.
Dude, this is impressive.
All right, let me find one more good one here. Who is the only starting quarterback to win a Super Bowl with two different teams? Brett Favre, John Elway, Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady? Peyton Manning. There we go. I knew that one. Boy, oh boy. And let's see. Okay, last question. We'll throw something. This is crazy. This has really nothing to do with the game, but it's fun. How much were the most expensive tickets to Super Bowl I? Dwayne, you can play along too. $48, $24, $12, or $96. Most expensive ticket to Super Bowl I, also known as the NFL-AFL championship game.
I'm going to go with 96.
All right. Dwayne, what do you think?
Was 48 an option?
It was.
I'll take half of what Rhys has.
No, it was not 96. It was not 48. It was not 24. $12.
Was the lowest one? I should have known just by $12. Golly. So that's back like when milk was like, 3 cents a gallon or something.
Unbelievable. Man,
I probably have that wrong.
Rhys,
Rhys, that's amazing, dude. I don't know how you remember all that.
Yeah.
Like I pack a lot of stuff in, but yeah, you're going to be so, yeah. Congrats on the book, man. Great job. Like I said, I love, when I read it, I literally read it in like an hour. I love the process that you put behind it. You explain all the facets of it. You're not just coming at it from just an opinion, standpoint. I thought you did a really good job of laying out the facts. You talk a little bit about the receiver skills. So man, just keep up the great work. I'm glad that you had the time to be able to do it. And I'm glad that you weren't like your friends and you didn't just sit around on your butt.
Thank you. Cool. Rhys, thanks so much, man. We appreciate you, your father, for giving us a few minutes here. He's over at Football Guys. Make sure you subscribe there and help out Sigmund Bloom and Waldman and Dr. Gene Bramall and all the good folks there. So any final thoughts before you get out of here, Rhys?
Just keep up the good work here on Fantasy Football Hustle.
Thanks, man. There we go.
We got to keep up with you now.
Yeah, really. This kid's going to be working for a big-time site soon. Thanks, Rhys. We appreciate it, buddy. Take it easy.
You too. Bye.